2. Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST. We are at Greenmount Station in Hampstead. Give it up, everybody. It's library-esque. I didn't have the monitor on, man. So they embarrassed me, and they sang Happy Birthday, and they brought pumpkin cheesecake out. And I've told all the guys in the locker room that I told all of you I have the same shirt. I got this shirt at the discount rack about 6 weeks ago. Skur wears it. I mean, all the guys, they all wear this shirt, so I'm wearing it tonight. It's the players' issue, and I'm, getting down with getting some pumpkin cheesecake here. So, Roanoke, Alabama. I'm going to Google that for the very first time right now. I've been to Alabama many, many times in my life. My cousin got married in Montgomery, and I've been to Mobile, and I've been to Tuscaloosa, and I've driven, is it Route 20 from Birmingham to Atlanta, right? Through Talladega. Ricky Bobby. Got the best piece of fried chicken I've ever had in my life. No disrespect to Royal Farms. It was at a gas station on Route 20 in Alabama. I'm not kidding. I went back to find it again during the 95 World Series, and then I went back like 2 years later during the Braves, and it was gone. And, if this were Instagram, you would have seen pictures of tears of mine. I mean, food, man. I don't know,
Soul food.
Soulful. Where's Roanoke, man? I want to Google that.
So
Where is
it's
that?
45 minutes north of Auburn, and then 45 minutes south of Anniston.
I almost took a job at Columbus newspaper on the border covering Auburn when I was 19 years old. The Columbus State something. But I still have never been to Auburn. Never. Why would I go there?
You shouldn't. Never should.
See?
I mean, there's no reason.
You want to win friends and without just pick on Auburn. Just say something bad, I mean, the Alabama thing, I have so many people that have gone there and been there, and Phil Savage has a fistful of rings and, calling the game with Eli Gold and all that stuff. I almost can't make fun of it anymore. It's all you do is win. So I'd say the whole Barry, been able to win. Who's going to win this year? Who's going to win the national championship? What do you think? Luke?
Alabama. Probably.
Yeah, probably Alabama, right? How many people here think Alabama's going to win? How many think they should pay the kids more in Alabama? Oh, yeah, very, very, very good. Very good, very good. Give me a little bit about your community work here, because I almost heard about your foundation before I heard about you. And I remember the first time I met you because I was so excited. It was last year. My wife and I did our summer trip right before training camp. And we went to Yellowstone Park. And we pulled out of Yellowstone. We went to Bozeman, Montana. And we stood in front of some taco stand and a bank at a strip mall in Bozeman where we got gas. And it says, "Welcome to Bozeman." And my wife and I took the goofy "Welcome to Bozeman" picture. And then I'm in the locker room and I looked up and I remember they drafted, and I look up and I'm like, "Bozeman, I'm going to show that guy a picture." I asked you, first thing I said to you, "You ever been to Bozeman, Montana?" You're like, "Nah, I've never been to Bozeman, Montana." I'm like, "So you still haven't been there, right?"
No, it's on the bucket list, though.
Do people ever say that to you? Do they mention?
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot,
okay.
yeah.
All right. It's nice. I mean, it's beautiful. But I mean, I would live there. Pleasant people.
It's a great name.
They have plenty of good food. Bison. They have all that stuff going on up there. Not as much football, though. You're probably better off where you are.
Yeah, true.
So you're north of, without looking at it, you're north of, so are you toward Chattanooga? Or no?
No, I'm
You're still south.
Straight.
You're south of 20?
In the middle of East Alabama. So I'm south of
south of 20
by about 20 minutes. So
how far is near Starbucks? That tells you where you are.
45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. That tells me how far off the highway you are. How far is nearest Waffle House?
We have Huddle House, so it's in the town.
That's not the same, is it?
It's not. It is, but it isn't.
Nikki's like, no. Huddle House.
It is, but it isn't.
In a Huddle House.
Huh.
Is that what happens when you live too far off a freeway?
Yes.
When you live too far off the freeway, you don't get a Waffle House, man. That's how you going to get them scattered, covered. I mean, so what do they call it in Huddle House? They call it scattered, covered, chunk, diced? No?
It's something like that. It's off-brand of Waffle House, kind of, sort of.
I want to learn. This is what I want to have you on, man. I want to learn about Southern cooking. So what do you eat? What do you really like? If I'm coming to your house in the South for a holiday of some denomination, I don't know, the Iron Bowl or something, a real holiday, you know what I mean? What are you making?
Probably steak. Probably a big steak.
That's
Big old ribeye.
You look like, about
a 2-inch thick ribeye.
Potatoes. Let me
good.
get potatoes.
I'm there.
What did my mom make? Oh, my mom Sunday dinner, fried chicken, collard greens, mashed potatoes, purple whole peas, cornbread, the whole nine.
See, my wife and I, she found a picture of me in Bozeman. It says right here, Bozeman, All-American City. There it is right there. And we're right there, Tree City, USA, the Arbor Day Foundation, and we're in front of what looks like a religious bookstore. So it looks like the South almost. Look there. No, that's it. There's where you have it. So there we have it. Bozeman, Montana, Bradley Bozeman of Alabama. I'm going to wait for your wife to come up and talk about the proposal and all. We're not going to do all that. We'll do that next segment.
That works.
She's got to be here for that, right?
Yeah, she should be here for sure.
Because there's three sides to every story, right? Yours, hers, and the truth.
Right.
And I'm going to play marriage counselor, I think, in the next segment. You got any football? Because you want to do football with him. I know you do.
We've sat here now 20 minutes.
I want to talk about food and have a good time and all that, but we got football to play. Let's go.
I want to ask him some thoughts on his new teammate that he probably hasn't met yet, but the big trade, Tuesday's news, Marcus Peters, acquired by the Ravens. And I guess, not someone you're going to necessarily interact with on the field, but has to be exciting to see a team that's in first place, well within the playoff mix in the AFC, go out and get better.
Yeah, for sure. It's above my pay grade, but we have to trust in the upper management that's making those decisions and making the right choices for us. So, excited to get him in there and learn the scheme and get going.
All these years I've never had to ask players about trades, and literally the last couple days people were asking me about trades, and I'm like, I'm used to talking about baseball trades or hockey trades, off-season basketball trades or whatnot. Like football trades is such a new thing, like a concept for us to even talk about. I don't know that I've ever had a player on a show all these years on a weeknight in the middle of the season and say, hey, made a couple trades today. Now, in baseball season, hockey season, that happens. It's a new phenomenon. I think even for football players, not just of your era, younger, but even the guys who've been around 10 years, they don't have many nights where they're sitting around on a Monday or Tuesday and they see a crawl on SportsCenter and say, hey, look at that. We picked up a Pro Bowler. That's not normal in football. Not even as a fan, I don't think that's normal. Right. This is sort of a new era. We talk about the things the NFL does to inject some life into this. It's injecting a life into a conversation here this week that we've never had before, which is we've added a football player that's really going to help his football team.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
Sure. I mean, there's no question. But let's go back to the offensive line a little bit because, we saw this thing come together second half of last year. Lamar takes over for an injured Joe Flacco. You guys very much changed overnight. I know that those plays were in your playbook and your system, but we saw that very much become who you guys were. So year two now, having Greg Roman at the helm now, kind of rebuilt this thing from the ground up. How do you think it's going? And is there a sense of excitement because you look at Sunday's game, for example, 500 yards of offense, yet I got the sense from a number of players in the post-game locker room that you weren't happy that you only scored 23 points.
Yeah, it could have been more. All night it was, in the past 6 games, we've been so close on being so great on so many different plays. And, we're getting there. We're still building. We're still young, and, hopefully we can really come together as an offensive unit and get ready to play and, to make a run at it. So, it's been great to see how this offense has developed and the things that we're doing and just the complexity of it and all the motions and shifts and everything that we have in the playbook. And just really excited to see where it goes from here.
How important is it to have that cohesion on the offensive line? We talked a little bit between segments how you didn't really step into that starting left guard role until the very end of the preseason, but the continuity you guys are building now, how critical is that? And can you guys really feel that sense that you're building to something that's even better than it's been?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, I kind of jumped in that role kind of late. But me and Ronnie and Matt and Marsh and Orlando have been working really hard at, getting our things down and, knowing what the other's first step's going to be, before it happens. And, me and Ronnie Stanley, we talk constantly about those type of things and, trying to continue to grow our game together because, he makes me look good and I make him look good. That's how the offensive line play works. So, just constantly trying to critique and work on the little things that we need to get better at.
Helps having Marshall in the room, right?
100%.
We had Marshall out here a couple years ago. He says he's going to do every other year. We're now in year 4, so I'm giving him a hard time riding him back coming out. But he came out one night, and And I give him a hard time about it because he was like a legendary guest because I got him like in the right mood. And he was just like talking about what he believed in. And he said, I hate lazy. I hate lazy. I hate lazy. And I'm like, I know you do.
Doesn't sound like Marsh.
No, not at all. and like, this, and you're running around in Alabama or whatever as a sophomore. It's a couple years ago, right, or whatever. And yet here he is after injuries, after a ring, after he's been paid a couple times. Now, like, sort of exclamation mark on the whole. And I can pull up a picture. I pulled one up last year, didn't I, for Skur or somebody, of what Marshall and I looked like when he came out. I'm going to pull that up for you, give you a laugh at the end of the segment. But Marshall being the elder statesman and being here, man, you come in here after being in Alabama, you got Nick Saban in the room with you with a pitchfork, right? Like, literally, that Marshall comes from that school, and we talk about that all the time. He makes everyone better because he demands more of you guys.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Marsh is one of the best people I've ever learned under. The guy goes out and competes every day and does everything the right way. I mean, we were losing to Cleveland. It was the last, minute and 36 seconds left or whatever. And we're going on the field, and he just looks over at me. He goes, just compete. Just all I want is your best. Just compete. And, a guy like that, you can learn a lot from. So,
how important is it to have?
See, I knew
you were going to
laugh out of that.
That's great.
That's
great.
But it's a very, very young. Marshall looks like he's about 9. Looks like he's never shaved, like literally, right?
Right.
From what what you're used to with Mark. He was cleaning up. He was a rookie, just falling in line.
For a young team.
Then I fell in line.
It's been talked about a lot. This offense. I mean, well over half the players are in their first or second year. The example you just shared with Marshall. How critical is it to have that veteran guy be that kind of leader when a game that at that point you're not going to win is still competing and still expressing that message to everyone else to keep competing?
It just shows the proof's in the pudding. That's why Marshall is where he is. I mean, for offensive linemen to get to double digits is a really big accomplishment. And Marshall is in year 13, I believe, and the guy is still competing at the top. So he's Pro Bowler last year, 7-time overall.
7 times, right?
The guy he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, yeah. So he's just such a great example to learn from and to be under.
Some thoughts on Ronnie Stanley. You mentioned a few moments ago how you've made him look better, he's made you look better, but I think anyone who's watched him the last few years, he was a first-round pick out of Notre Dame, high-profile, top 10 pick, but I think there was always a sense of he's been good. Can he take it to the next level? And I think this year we're seeing that he's getting lots of acclaim, lots of positive reviews. But have you seen him improve from last year to this year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ronnie is playing really great right now. Obviously, like I'm always going to say, there's always room for improvement for sure. And Ronnie knows that. But Ronnie is one of the most particular people that I've ever met, as far as just the tiny little details of everything. He stays on me all the time about my second footwork or I wasn't quite square on that one, or he wasn't this or that or that. But he is a pro, and he's going to be really good over the next course of the couple of years.
Bradley Bozeman is with us. We're out at Green Mountain Station. We're in final segment. We're going to come back. I want you to plug your Halloween event again. It's coming up in 2 weeks on Tuesday night. Costumes. First part is again, adults only. Go
adults
ahead.
only. Adults
Get
only.
A sitter.
Halloween costume party at Woodhome Country Club in Pikesville. And get your tickets at bradnickybozeman.com, or you can find them at my Instagram, Twitter, whatever, at BSBose, or at Nikki at 1Nikki3. One Nikki.
That's why we're bringing her up next segment.
and 3. But you can find.
If you went to Auburn, you'd be better at this. The communication school.
I guess.
Yeah, maybe like that. I don't know, but. So I got the let's see. I got the Blues Brothers here. We did Danny and Sandy from Greece one year. We did the King and Queen of Hearts. Oh, isn't that nice? So we had costumes here. The Ricky and Lucy, Babaloo. So we've done a whole bunch of them. That was the year my wife was in the hospital and was bald, and she did Uncle Fester. So we did that the year, from the hospital. So you can see that one too. So we are at Green Mountain Station. We're getting ready for Halloween. That piece of pumpkin cheesecake is very scary and large, and I appreciate all the hospitable birthday love out here. I appreciate Bradley coming out. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about foundation. We're going to talk about anti-bullying. We're going to talk some more football, and we're going to let Brad eat a little bit. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, WNST Towson, Baltimore, live from Greenmount Station in Hampstead. We're back for more right after this.